today I will be talking about the best to worst season 13 Family Guy episodes. Which I'm going to talk about the best to worst episodes of the 16-13 of Family Guy. Just to tell you, this is Family Guy. Season 13, not any other show. But anyways, the Family Guy season 13 has just ended last week, and I'm going to talk about the best or worst episodes to it. Soon I'll probably do the best or worst Simpsons season 26 episodes, which that's probably going to be really hard because I pretty much like almost all of them pretty much the same. Or I might not even do it because I pretty much almost like all of them the same. Like all the Simpsons episodes out of season 26 the same. It's just maybe like 3 episodes that I have 3 different opinions about. So I think like maybe I will do this best or worst Simpsons season 26 episodes. But that would be really hard for me to do. Maybe soon. But in this video I'm going to do the best or worst Family Guy season 13 episodes. So yeah, let's get started. I actually written it, like my best or worst, so I can remember it. So yeah, I gotta say before this video, there are 18 episodes in season 13 of Family Guy, but I only have seen 16 of them. So there's going to be 2 left out, and the 2 that are going to be left out are going to be the Book of Joe and Encyclopedia Griffin. But both of those episodes won't be in here because I haven't seen them yet. So I'll just I'll just talk about the episodes in my list that I have seen in season 13. So yeah, let's get started. At number 16, we have the 2,000-year-old, which I'm going to say this episode was awful. What's even the point of it? It didn't even really had nothing to do with Christmas. And what was really the point of making this episode? I mean, come on. That's all I got to say, pretty much because this episode is just awful. And also, some of these episodes I haven't reviewed, like this one, the 2,000-year-old. But some of these episodes, like when I talk about them in the list, I might actually change my opinion of what I think now. So yeah, what we have at number 15 is Stewie is in Cincy. I'm not really sure. Well, this one, I gotta say, it's not even, I mean, I said in my review that it was okay, but now to think about it, it's just a gross and awful episode. I did like this one a little tiny bit more than Stewie is in Cincy. I know, not that one, that's the one I'm talking about, but the 2,000-year-old, because I guess it had some funny jokes. Like I tried, like when I saw the commercials for this episode, I was like, whoa, this is going to be awesome. The story looks awesome. The jokes look awesome. And then I kept trying to laugh every time I watched the episode. Okay, this has to be funny. I mean, come on. This has to be funny. And that's funny. And I wasn't even actually meaning it. I was just trying to see if it was funny or not because I just don't know why. But it's just I tried so hard to laugh. Because the commercials just looked like it was funny. Even commercials looked like it was more funnier than the whole episode. So yeah, what we have at number 14, which we're going to get out of the awful Family Guy season 13 episodes. And we're going to get to episode 14. Or no, not episode 14. Well, 14. Quagmire's mom. I gotta say, this one was it's just an okay episode, I guess. It's just okay. I don't really care for it that much. It's just okay. I don't really think what was really the I mean, it was sort of fun. It was like halfway fun. But I didn't really get what was really the point of making this episode. Or there was even any point. So, yeah, it's an okay episode. It's not bad, it's not awful, it's not terrific, it's not fun. It's just an okay episode. And also, that's an episode I haven't even reviewed, but I have seen it. So, yeah, I'm going to flip over, which we will be on number 13, which I haven't seen. Like, most of these episodes in these lists are like ones I haven't seen in a long time ago, maybe since like the beginning when I just started YouTube. And I can't really remember it, but I'll try to remember and how good it was. So yeah, we have at number 13, Baking Bad, which I gotta say, this one, it was supposed to be a Halloween special because it was on the same exact night with Treehouse of Horror came out. Yeah, we're not even talking about the same thing, but it came out the same exact night when Treehouse of Horror came out, the one last year, and it came out on like 30 minutes after that, and it was considered supposed to be a Halloween special. I didn't really get why it was supposed to be considered as a Halloween special. Nor is why they want to treat it as one, because the first one is about when Peter and Lewis make a cookie shop, or like they own a cookie shop, but Peter wants to change it and get more business. And the second one, I think it's about when Stewie gets like when Stewie gets out of control. I can't remember. I think like the second story is supposed to be about when Stewie gets out of control, which I think that's what it's about. And that was supposed to be the Halloween. That was supposed to be the Halloween special part because it was basically like Stewie out of control. The episode that I sort of think should be like that felt like more of a Halloween special, even though it pretty much had nothing to do with Halloween, was Stewie and Cindy. I'm not really sure, but I guess that's the one that I pretty much think that probably should be. That one was actually pretty creepy. I gotta admit, it was. Sorry, I'm just putting the letter back. But yeah, I gotta flip it over because that's where I write this. But we have at number 12 Brian the Closer, which I haven't seen this one in a long time, so I can't really remember this one pretty much like as Baking Bad. All I remember it was pretty fun. It was a really fun episode, I thought. And it was just fun. It wasn't great. It was just fun. So yeah, there's really nothing to talk about in Brian the Closer, but we're going to number 11, which is Roasted Guy. I shouldn't be really talking about anything about this episode because I already did a review on this episode a few weeks ago, but I'll just tell you about it. I gotta say, the thing that I mostly remember about this episode was like the jokes were too long. Sometimes the jokes didn't need to be long, but sometimes the jokes actually needed to be long. Because in this one part, there was like this wolf, and it took it forever, but it's still fun. It was like pretending that Peter was actually directing a movie about these wolves. It actually showed like 5 minutes about these talking wolves, and this wolf gets pranked, and yeah, I sort of think you should watch the episode. It's sort of like a normal modern episode, but still pretty fun. So yeah, we're at number 10, which is called This Little Piggy. I thought the stories were sort of pointless, but the jokes were really funny. So I don't really have anything to talk about this episode, and yeah. The stories were sort of pointless. Like I thought the Meg story was sort of pointless, but like the second story, which was about when Brian and Stu went into this this fair. I can't remember, but I actually like that story more, and I enjoyed it more. But I guess this episode is still pretty good. And going to number 9 is Once Bitten, which I already done review on this episode like a few weeks ago, so I don't really need to talk about this episode, but I'll just say a short summary. I'll just talk a little bit of it. Well, anyways, Once Bitten was a really fun episode. I really liked the story in it. I thought the story felt like a classic Family Guy story for some reason. But that's all I pretty much need to say about Once Bitten. So yeah, going to number 8 is Jolo, which I forgot to review it someday, so I recorded it and then I reviewed it. And I had to say, I had to really enjoy this episode. It's really sad that this is the only Peter, Joe, Quagmire, and Cleveland. Like, the whole episode is pretty much about them. Episode like when they go travel somewhere. I really enjoyed Jolo because it was like one of those adventures. And I didn't really care about the joke that much. It was just a really fun episode. It's not, they don't go too far into like adventure, like when they find the world's funniest joke, or like when they get into jail, but then they learn it's not actually a jail, it's actually a fake jail. Which I gotta say, this episode is not as adventurous as Jolo, but I gotta say the episode is still good. So yeah, let's go to episode 7, which is Our Idiot Brian. This episode I thought was really funny, and I really liked the story of this episode. I don't think there's too much for me to talk about this episode. I think I really explained it in my review, which I probably did change my opinion now, but you could check out my review, and yeah, just go to my early videos in 2015. Not like my earliest videos, but like one of my first videos in 2015. If you want to see Our Idiot Brian, but I did a 4-minute review on that, so I pretty much explained everything. So yeah, number 6 is Turkey, guys. Yeah, I haven't seen this in a long time, but I gotta say this episode was really fun. I thought it was just a fun episode. Like when Peter and Brian try to get a turkey, and they always get into these what is it called again? I don't know. Oh yeah, obstacles, and they just try to get the turkey for Thanksgiving. Which Turkey, guys, was a really good episode. But I haven't even done a review on it. I wonder why I didn't do a review on it. Okay, now going to number 5, which we're going to the awesome episodes. And number 5 is Take My Wife, which I did this one. I did this one last week. I did a review on it, so it was a good episode. So my opinion hasn't even changed for this episode. It was a good episode, I guess, and the jokes were good. I guess, and the story was pretty good, I guess. So just check out my review for it. I'll explain everything about it because I haven't even changed my opinion yet because I did a review on Take My Wife a week ago. So yeah, it doesn't even really that matter. But I gotta say this episode was really fun. So yeah, now we're going to number 4, which I thought this one was just funny. Funny. I thought it was the second funniest episode this season, which you're gonna be really shocked because I just really like this episode. Dr. C and a Woman. I just love this episode. I don't know why. I was laughing my head off. Like in the beginning, I was laughing my head off. I have no clue why. I was just laughing. And it was just so funny. I couldn't just stop laughing. The second episode, after the commercials started slowing down, but still really laugh. I thought this episode was really funny. The story didn't really matter to me. I didn't really listen to the story. It's just I just really listened to the jokes, but the jokes were just awesome. So yeah, I really recommend you Dr. C and a Woman if you really like funny Family Guy episodes. But that one's the second funniest episode in season 13, which is season that I'm doing a list on my best or worst Family Guy episodes. So season 13. So yeah, let's go to number 3. Stewie, Chris, and Brian's excellent adventure. This is the only pretty much like Stewie and Brian adventure in this like season, which is pretty sad. But I gotta say, this one was actually pretty good. In my review, I said that it really reminded me of Road to the Multiverse, and I still think it's a really good episode. It's even at number 3. I thought it was really good. Like that, this time they took Chris with them, and it just makes it more funner. And they just go time traveling. That's why I just love this episode, and that's why it's number 3. Number 2 is Fighting Irish, which I thought, like, you could just see my review. I did it 2 weeks ago, which I haven't really changed my opinion. I thought this was actually a really funny episode. It just was just an awesome episode, I thought. It was a great 250th episode special for Family Guy. And I'm not going to really talk about it. You can just see in my review because I pretty much still have the same opinion for this episode. So number 1, you guessed it, The Simpsons Guy. The funniest episode this season. This episode is awesome. It's like the best crossover ever. It's just awesome. Terrific. Everything you say about something good. Incredible. It's just awesome. You have to see this episode. If you're a huge Family Guy episode, you have to see this episode. It's just an awesome episode. It's like Family Guy and The Simpsons crossover. Have you ever wondered what happened with that? Now you get to see it. A crossover between The Simpsons and the Family Guy. It's just awesome. You have to see it. It's just so funny. Yeah, I know. That's how good it is. I actually just was yelling at this camera or iPhone and like, this is awesome, this is awesome. That's how good this is. It's even my top 5 Family Guy episodes, or maybe it's in my top 10, I'm not really sure. But still, this episode is awesome. It's this best episode of season 13 of Family Guy, The Simpsons Guy. If you haven't seen this episode, you must see it if you're a huge Family Guy fan, or even Family Guy fan. But I gotta say, this season was pretty good, I guess, because it didn't really have that much like adventure episodes, and it basically had like a character always worrying about the other character, and they didn't want to get back to this character. It seems like that they keep doing the story in this episode. No, not this episode, well, in this season 13. So yeah, that's my best to worst Family Guy episodes of season 13. Hopefully you liked this episode. And don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and bye.